Go ahead.
Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? Thanks for joining us. So, I'm super excited about this subject because I think sometimes when we get into like multi level marketing, we get so focused on um, I need to sign people up or I need to um, educate on the product that we kind of forget about like it's still a business. So, as a business, we want to, hey,
Hey,
babe.
I was setting up recording.
We want to make sure that we're always still supplying good customer service. So I want you to take a moment and just think about some of your just absolute favorite companies to either shop for or shop at. Think about some of those companies. Like take a minute. I'm gonna be quiet for a little bit. I want you to really, really think about some companies that you either shop at or shop from.
Are we just gonna stare at them?
No, I want them thinking.
Oh,
They're
okay.
thinking about some companies, maybe online that they shop for, maybe stores that they shop at.
I have one. You want me to be quiet in the chair? Okay.
So just think about it. And the purpose of doing that is because I want you to think about what they do that keeps you coming back. And even it could be a restaurant. Like, why do you keep going back to that place? What do they do that makes you want to go there versus another place? You wanted to share your place.
Oh, it's not one that I've dealt with personally, but I heard Mercedes-Benz has really excellent customer service.
Okay.
So that was at least the one I was thinking of.
Yes. So the reason I say that is we want to do the same thing for anybody that we personally enroll or anybody that's in our organization. So maybe like you have an organization and there might be some people on there that you don't recognize their names or you don't know them that well. But still remember anybody that is a part of your organization volume is a part of your organization. So all of those people are helping you to get to whatever next rank you're trying to get to, or you're getting, income off of those layers that are going down. So you want to make sure that you're offering that good customer service. So the definition of good customer service, it means helping customers efficiently in a friendly manner. It's essential to be able to handle issues for customers and do your best to ensure they are satisfied. Providing good service is one of the most important things that can set your business apart from the other of the kinds that might be similar to your business. So that's so, so important because now, while many of the people in your organization might be your family, your friends, and things like that, and they're connected to you, remember that people don't buy products, they buy you. So the reason that they even came out to support you or even are, continuously learning about this way of life, it's simply because they want in like you. So with that in mind, are you giving them back the type of customer service that they need and deserve? So again, when you're thinking about some of those different businesses, some of those different companies, so what I did is I took a list of 10 companies that provided the best customer service. It's a little bit outdated, but this was back in 2015. So if you look at some of the top companies, one of the number one companies on there is REI. So if you're familiar with REI or have ever bought for them or dealt with them, one thing that I thought was really, really vital, it says, who wouldn't love a brand that will replace your boots even 3 years after you first purchased them? I'd love that, right? REI provides excellent in-store experiences with highly knowledgeable staff that act more like consultants than salespeople. In addition, they offer as great omni-channel support and a rich online knowledge base through their blog, learning center, and question and answer section. REI's great customer service reputation is well deserved. So if you think about those qualities, although Young Living, yes, they have a customer service that, if somebody misplaces something or can't find something, they obviously can call Young Living on their own. But again, you're the one that introduced them to this business. You're the one that introduced them to this company. So are you available for when they have specific questions? Do you offer your knowledge to them? Because the reality is a lot of this is not common knowledge. A lot of people don't know how to use their oils. They don't know that using it on a daily basis is going to transform their lives. They don't know the power behind what we have. So you have to reach out to them. So I want you again to kind of think about anybody that you personally enrolled. When was the last time you just talked to them? When was the last time you just called them and said, hey, how you doing? Like, what's going on? Again, we're talking about these relationships. So with that experience and this company REI, it talks about their knowledge and them being personable. So if they're personable, they get to know the people that are shopping and dealing with them. Because if you're familiar with the brand, there's a lot of stuff that is honestly pricier and you could probably get somewhere else a little bit cheaper. But there's a reason people keep going back to them. And it has to be the same thing with you. So an uneducated person might think, oh, well, I can go to Better Health and get oils. Well, that's because then they're not educated. They don't know that they cannot get what we have anywhere else. So are you openly communicating that with them and making sure they know? Another company that was listed, number 2, Virgin America. And what I liked about this, again, of course, number 1, they had great customer service, but it also talked about while other airlines take a too serious approach to designing user-friendly, Virgin America spices things up with entertaining in-flight security videos, fun lighting on their aircrafts, and a top-of-the-line selection of stores in their airport terminals. So again, they're standing out. There's something unique about them. So what do you offer to those that you have personally enrolled and those that are in your organization? You need to make sure they see your personality. They know who you are. You're a real person. You're not just somebody that was just trying to sell a kit and they never heard of anything from later. Because if they don't hear from you until, they're about to go inactive. So, hey, Sally, what's going on? You're using your oils? Like, they're going to feel that. They're not going to want to keep coming to you, and nothing that they needed has been satisfied. So you have to make sure that we treat our business like a business. If you had a storefront business and you had a customer walking in those doors, purchasing something from your storefront business, how would you wouldn't say nothing afterwards, right? Like, that's rude. So if you see someone in your organization purchasing something, do you thank them? You can give them a card. You can pick up the phone and say, hey, so, what did you get this month? Like, how are you using it? How are you enjoying it? Like, how can I help you get more education on what you need? Because at some point, if I walked into a store and nobody ever said hello, like, I'm like, I ain't want to shop here no more. Like, ain't nobody talking to me. Yeah. So we want to make sure that we are providing good customer service to those in our business, because I think that's one thing that, like, just in general, a lot of times for some reason we get into multi-level marketing and we no longer start treating it like a business. It is a business. It's a legit business. And same thing, like, if you don't open the doors of your business for 2-3 weeks, are you going to make money? Like, would you pay you for the work that you did today on your business? Right? Did you make it a priority to say, you know what? These are the non-negotiables. I know every Sunday at 8:30, I have a team call. I'm going to be on that call. If I can't be on that call, I'm going to make sure as soon as I can, I'm watching that recording. Those are non-negotiables. It'd be the same thing as if you're scheduled to work at a certain time, well, you have training this week. This is when your training happens. You have to treat it like a business. Did you have something?
Yeah, so I was going to kind of piggyback off of that, because good customer service, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be the authority on everything. I know, if I can use my personal example, I'm going to use my father, because he's actually kind of hilarious. It took him a while to come around to the point where he finally decided to purchase a kit. But once he purchased a kit, like I noticed, like my interactions with him were like a lot higher. I was getting phone calls and texts all the time, and it was like, "How do I use this oil?" Or I got free products in, or no, he thought they overcharged him, but he actually got free products that month, and he just didn't know they were free. And my initial instinct is to say, like, oh my goodness, why does he keep asking me questions about this business? I gave you the kit, I just kind of opened the door for you and you have to go through. And I don't know everything, neither does Dana. And that's what Young Living's customer service is there for. They're an excellent resource to answer questions like that. But I do make myself available to have that interaction and say, hey, Dad, what's going on? Oh, you wanted to know about such and such product? You wanted to know about lemon oil or lavender? Okay, I don't know a lot about that. Do you have your reference guide? Go look in your reference guide. But that interaction is still allowing us to build that relationship, because a lot of times he'll ask a question about oils and then we'll go back to talking about what's going on in our lives. So it's the same thing with individuals that if they've bought a kit from you or if they've attended a class, most likely you're still working from your warm market. So these are individuals that you're building a relationship with or that you have a strong relationship with. So the best way to be successful in this business is to maintain that relationship and not just make it about the sales of kids. Because that way, if that person has a question, they're going to call you and say, hey, I didn't get my oils this week, or I ordered my kit 3 weeks ago and I still haven't gotten my kit. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Hey, let's call customer service, get them on the phone and see what's going on with that. You solve that problem and then go back to doing what you would ordinarily in your relationship. How's the kids? How's the wife? How's the job? How's life? Have those interactions and periodically check on people. Because like Dana said, this business really is about relationships. It's not about being the best and most savvy salesperson, but it's about being consistent and it's about interacting with people and finding needs and filling those needs within those individuals. So if we're regularly checking on people, those will change over time. You might meet people, life circumstances change. So maybe the first time that you introduce them to Young Living, either to the product or the business opportunity, it was not a good time for them. But if you've kept those channels open, kept that relationship growing and building, then at some point, I know we've even had people that said, hey, you guys still going with Young Living? Now I'm ready to ask you about, like, how do I get started? Oh, when's your next class? Oh, like, this is a legitimate business. Like, how do I make money doing this? And that's all from keeping those relationships open and checking on people. So it's very important. That's the highest part of customer service.
Mm-hmm. So another company that I was going to just highlight is Amazon. So how many people got their Amazon Prime and they shop Amazon? So another thing with Amazon that I just wanted to pinpoint, it talks about one reason I know I love Amazon is I get my stuff quickly.
2-day shipping.
Now, we can't control the shipping from Young Living until they get their distribution center all set up on the East Coast. We can't make that any faster. But what I did want to point out is after a person has purchased their kit, is that all you do? Do they never hear from you again? Or 2 days later, are you on the phone with them like, hey, so I'm so excited. I know your kit probably hasn't come yet, but when you get your kit, these are the things that you're going to just absolutely love. I'm excited to have you experience and actually get the results that you were looking for. How is our follow-up? Because again, it's not about, oh, I'm trying to get them to the next sale, but you need to show that you care. Like, so if they bought a kit and you have not talked to them, like, we want to be speedy with this. And then as soon as we know they got their kit, awesome, your kit came today. That's so exciting. So what are you using? What's your favorite oil? Like, did you get in the compartment? Do you know I've had people that like literally have bought more than one kit and had no idea the Stress Away and Ninja sachets were underneath there?
Yeah. Like over a year.
Yeah. Had no clue that it was under there. So get over their house, go through their oils, open every single bottle, make sure they have every single one open. Dr. Jim Bob Haggerton, him and his wife, they had a kid, I think it was 6 or 7 years or something crazy, because all they really wanted was the thieves cleaner to clean their office and everything. So they had that kit and had to pull it out and dust it off. Like, we don't want people to, again, they're not going to keep coming back because they don't see the value. They don't know what they're investing in. You want to make sure that we are quick with it. Let's be like Amazon, 2-day shipping, 2-day shipping. Really, I say that first month that they sign up, you want to get with them every single week. Like, hey, like, you know, I just wanted to, you know, see how you're liking stuff. How's things going? Did you try this for your dog, your cat, your what? Like, we want to know our people, and we want to give them excellent customer service. So it's so important that we're quick with it. We don't want to wait 3 months later and then try to come back and make up for time. And then along with that too, I can't tell you how many people that'll say, oh, we have supplements too. Yes. We have supplements, and they're superior to anything you could be buying out there.
Yeah.
I don't know another company that infuses oils in their supplements. That's huge. You're wasting your money if you're using any other supplements. Like, if your kids are taking a vitamin, kids are taking a vitamin and it does not have the oils in it, then it's not as bioavailable, and you're wasting your money. So again, we want to help support people, but they don't know. They don't know, so we have to educate them. We have to make sure that we are being there for them and walking them through this journey. I want everybody to visualize, like, you have a brick and mortar business. Like, what would you want when they walked in the door? Every time they purchase something, what would you say? What would you do? They have to be.
I just really wanted to add to that because, like Daniel was saying, the constant communication is important. So I know when I read Game Plan, one of the things that Sarah had suggested was check in with individuals at 3, 10, and 30 days within the month. So at 3 days, most likely they have not received their kit, but you can at least check with them and see what they enjoyed about the class. Tell them what to look for when they get their kit. If they're excited to share at that point, great. You can set up a class for them to be able to go through the oils when they get their kit with some of their closest friends and family. 10 days out, oh, did you get your kit? Okay, what have you been using? And answer any questions that they may have had. And then by the end of the month, at 30 days, you may be checking in with that individual because hopefully they've used some of their products. They now have favorites. If they've hosted a class for you, you might want to follow up on that class, like how that went, if anyone got started from that. That's really how you're going to get most of your growth in this business. It's funny because Kelly Bromelkamp was in town for the rally. And,
awesome!
Yeah.
If you didn't meet her, oh my goodness, came all the way from Iowa. That's awesome.
That's why we have to apologize. We're running a little bit late. We came from a barbecue with Kelly, so, and we were just talking. But the biggest thing and the greatest thing about building a multi-level marketing business is the ability to leverage yourself, and that means to repeat your efforts over and over again. By sharing with multiple people and having them do the same. So most people look at this business and say, I'm not sure if I can do this because it's going to take way too much OGV, or it's going to take too much of my time and energy and effort. But when you're leveraging yourself and working with other individuals, it's like multiplying your efforts over and over and over again. The hard part for us, though, is sometimes maintaining the relationship and the customer service aspect, because we just sometimes might make it about us. But it's very important that, you know, these individuals who are getting started with kits, it's their doorway to better living. And so there's a lot of things they don't know that it's almost like you're going to have to hold their hand. And if you were to look at them almost like a child, like you have to slowly wean them off of certain things. So you need to have that constant communication. You need to be the best kind of resource that you can be. You don't need to know everything, like I said, but be a resource for them. Be a friend when they need a friend. You know, if they need a mentor or a leader, be a leader.
Right. And we're not saying like you want to be their only resource. No,
Right.
you want to point them to proper resources. You don't want to be the dictionary, the encyclopedia for, because we don't treat or diagnose people. That's not what we're saying at all. But you do need to have good customer service. You do need to treat them just like you would, again, if somebody's walking in the doors, how you would treat anybody else. Because sometimes I think when relationships are too close, sometimes we take it for granted. And honestly, if you have somebody that has bought a kit and you're walking in their house and they're still using bleach, or they still have, air fresheners around the house, or burning candles, or they don't get it. And that's why, too, it's so, so important. They have to be plugged into these classes. We don't have classes just to sell kits. That's not how Young Living operates. That's not how we work. It's all about education. Like, it's so important to get these people to rallies and get these people to classes. We set up wellness classes, but of course, as leaders, you should have your 2 classes a month that you are plugging people into and educating them, because that's what's going to make the difference. Because just like me, I did not know that there were certain things that were, I loved candles. I didn't know that burning a toxic paraffin or soy candle was as fatal as secondhand smoke. How would I have known that unless somebody had taught me? So we have to teach people. We have to make sure they're educated and they know it's their lives that we're trying to basically save. Like, I hate to be that extreme, but like, cancer's on the rise, like asthma, allergies, like the chronic fibromyalgia and MS, like a lot of these things are being pushed to the extreme because of lifestyle choices, period.
That was kind of reinforced. Let me not use words that I can't pronounce right now. Normally I can't pronounce that, but that was kind of reinforced at the rally. So here's the thing that I would like people to understand, that every single person that's listening to this call, you are a leader. If you've ever sold a kit or hosted a class, you are a leader. And so therefore, that means that someone is looking to you to be shown the way. So treat it as such. Yeah. Treat yourself and carry yourself like a leader.
Right. And we, of course, reach out to all these people too, but some of them, especially like if you personally enrolled them, they might not know me. Mm-hmm. So while I'm reaching out, I'm calling them, I'm texting them, they might not really respond because they're like, I don't have a clue who this girl is. Like, she keeps telling me I'm, Jessica's friend or Jessica's cousin, but I don't know who she is. So it's so important that you are constantly in contact with these people. You are constantly reaching out. You're owning your business. You're owning your organization, and helping to just support them with good customer service, because that can make all the difference. Just a simple hello, I see you, and they're like, oh yeah, I do have that Young Living account. Another thing I was going to say, just real quick, we're going to wrap up, but like, I've also had a lot of people that never ordered again because they had no clue how. They didn't know how to sign into their thing. They had no idea what their password was. They had no clue. So again, your OGB might be able to be doubled just by simply calling people and like, hey, and you chat with them and they're like, oh, you know what? I've been meaning to get that Ninja Red juice. I've been meaning to get, well, let me help you. And I've done this too. Let's call them 3-way customer service. Let's call them 3-way. And then I hang up after they're connected to customer service and they finish their orders and they're fine. I've had people do that so many times, like where it's like, well, I don't know your password either, so I can't help you, but I know customer service number. Like, and a lot of times if you don't do it with them, they're going to forget after they get off the phone with you, and they're not going to remember. So take ownership of your personal enrollments, take ownership of your organizations, because we are at the best possible time to really build this thing and take it off. And I'll say this too, I'm going to put in the group Kelly's lecture. It was phenomenal, absolutely amazing. Again, she retired from engineering to do this full time as a platinum leader, and now her biggest goal is to now get her husband retired too from engineering, because both of them, like, yes, engineering money is great. I hated it. Like we just said with her, she's like, I absolutely hated my job. It was the worst. Like she's like, and my husband hates his job. So we can have our time and we can have the money that we want, the money that we decide to build for. It's your choice, wherever you want to be with it.
All right.
But good customer service.
Yeah.
So that's your goal this week. If you have not talked to anybody in your, if there's anybody in your organization that you have not talked to yet this month, I want you to get on the phones and I want you to just call and say, hey, I just want to see how you're doing. That's it. I want everybody on their organizations and I want them good customer service. And let's get some feedback. Let's see, how you guys do. Okay.
All right.
All right.
We'll catch you guys next week.
All right, guys.
Same time. You guys need anything, you can call either Dana or myself. So we'll look forward to talking to you guys throughout the week.
Bye, guys.
All right. Have a good night.